revelation of the depth of the police state that now exists in LA County. The health department has unleashed door-to-door raw milk confiscation teams that threaten to intimidate raw dairy customers into surrendering raw milk products that they legally purchase and own. Unbelievable. LA County and San Diego County have attempted to acquire customer names and addresses from organic pastures for the sole purpose of sending food confiscation teams to customers' homes to remove the raw milk from customers' refrigerators. So, I mean, this is incredible. Imagine the police going in, guns drawn, SWAT-style raids to family farms, and now door-to-door to remove the milk from your refrigerators. Simply unbelievable. Where does it all end? But not only is the government protecting us from making our own decisions on what kind of milk we want to buy, now they are also putting drones in the sky to protect us from the evil terrorists. This is news out of Denver, Colorado, where right now the FAA is investigating what they call an extremely dangerous incident, as one of these drones almost caused a mid-air collision with a jet over Denver. The mysterious object, thought to be a military or law enforcement drone flying in controlled airspace over Denver, almost caused a catastrophic mid-air crash with a commercial jet. The craft was reported as being about 2,800 feet above the ground at the time the pilot reported seeing it. It did not show up on radar. And Congress has recently passed legislation that will put about, 30,000 drones up over U.S. airspace by the year 2020. So I'm sure we could see, there's probably going to be more catastrophes in the future. Meanwhile, in Dallas, a training missile drops from a helicopter and 100 homes are evacuated. About 100 homes in a Central Texas neighborhood had to be evacuated when a 6-foot inactive training missile accidentally fell from a military helicopter. What are they doing with military helicopters, missiles in military helicopters over Dallas? I have no idea what's going on. Federal government is here to help and keep us safe, I guess. Let's move on to our quote of the day. This one by Joseph Crowley, U.S. Representative for New York's 7th Congressional District. Some of the FDA's own scientists have charged that politics, not science, is behind the FDA's actions. Well, no kidding. All right, that just about wraps up the first half of our show. And before I go, don't forget, 15-day free trial membership, Prison Planet TV. Check it out. When we come back, I will be joined via video Skype live with Kurt Linderman Sr. Now, he's an investigative journalist. He's a contributor to the INFOWARS nightly news, INFOWARS.com, and he's also a vaccine researcher. Kurt Linderman, when we come back.
I really enjoy it when the globalists try to poison us, and, well, we resist them via a free market system. Hello, my fellow Info Warriors. Alex Jones here, introducing you to the ProPure family of gravity-fed filters. Now, you know that the globalists are filling our water with radioactive isotopes, fluoride, lead, mercury, arsenic. And one of the few systems that can efficiently and economically remove or reduce down to non-detectable levels these poisons are gravity-fed filters. And ProPure is the top of the line. Their filters are impregnated with silver, a natural antibiotic. On top of that, they're bigger, so they filter faster. You don't have to prime these the first time you use them. It's amazing. Go to InfoWars.com and click on the shopping cart link to see the entire family of these babies. Now, the fluoride they add to our water is so tiny that most filters can't cut it out. But ProPure has their system that will, again, reduce it to non-detectable levels, almost get all of it out of there. That's also available. And if you look at the different systems they offer, the ProPure Big Brush Finish is on a stand, so it's easier on a table or at your restaurant or wherever you have it to go up with a glass or a mug and fill it up. Then there's this big baby right here, the ProPure King large version. Got a lot of different options that come with it. Also, they have the ProPure Big, probably one of the best values out there. And of course, it's burnished stainless steel. And then what I use on my my RV, something that's great for your hunting cabin or the back porch, is the ProPure Traveler. Small and portable, but packs a huge punch, cleans out all that garbage. They also have a glass sight spigot, so you don't have to take the top off and look in the bottom area to see how much water. You can see how fast it's filtering with this optional system. The globalists obviously are hitting us through our water. It's time to take control of our lives. It's time to not give our children and families these poisons, and these systems cut it down to non-detectable levels across the board. ProPure is the name. I only promote what I believe in, and I use ProPure in my home and my office. And I recommend that you check out the information on ProPure at INFOWARS.com. We already have the lowest price at INFOWARS.com on the ProPure gravity filter system. But when you add in the 10% off when InfoWarriors use the product code WATER at InfoWars.com, nobody can top it. So again, it's a win-win-win. Stop drinking the poison water, checkmate the globalists when it comes to your health, and support InfoWars.com and the work we're doing here. You know, many revolutionaries rob banks and things and kidnap people for funds. We promote in the free market the products we use that are about preparedness. That's how we fund this revolution against the New World Order in our move to restore our constitutional republic and a spirit of 1776 worldwide. Check it out at InfoWars.com. ProPure, top of the line, #1, most powerful and effective and economical gravity-fed water system in the world. ProPure, available, discounted at InfoWars.com. Don't forget product code WATER to save 10%. It's the latest generation, years in development. ProPure is the name.
And we are back. Thank you for joining us. This is the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Darren McBreen. And joining us now, live via video Skype, is investigative journalist, InfoWars contributing editor, and vaccine researcher, Kurt Linderman Sr. And he is also the host of Linderman Unleashed on the Natural News Radio. And Kurt is here to talk to us today about some important developments that are going on in the state of Connecticut, where House Bill 5117 was introduced to combat genetically engineered foods. It had a tremendous backing and support by the people of Connecticut. It looked like it was going to be a slam dunk until it got in the hands of Governor Daniel Malloy and his attorneys, who removed key sections of the bill due to fears of legal action taken by the biotech industry. Kurt Linderman Sr. joins us now to break this down. Hey, Kurt, it's good to have you on the show. What do you think about this bill? How close was it to seeing the light of day?
Well, Darren, thanks for having me. I'll tell you what, it was really close, and I think that's what got Monsanto and the other biotech corporations out there really nervous. It was so close because 85% of the Connecticut legislature was in favor of this bill. 90% of the public, which is what we see all across the country, 90+% of the American people want to know, even if they're not against GMOs in their food, they would like to see it labeled. It's a no-brainer. They knew it was going to happen, so Monsanto had to do something about it.
Well, and this would require labeling of GMO ingredients, am I right?
Well, yeah, the bill had a number of different parts to it, but Section 2, which was essentially the only part that was removed by Governor Malloy, was the part that talked about labeling GMO foods. Now, that would have been devastating just because no food company is going to just label foods for one state. So that would have made them relabel all the foods across the country, essentially. So this was going to be a big deal. So that was the only part that was removed. It was the part about labeling of GMOs.
So sure, it would have been a domino effect. And what probably happened, it was close to being passed, but then the governor, behind closed-door sessions, him and his attorneys, along with probably maybe attorneys from Monsanto, basically they got bullied by the biotech industry. They wussed out, and the bill's going nowhere.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, and I'm not afraid to say this one bit. One of two things happened: either the governor's a coward and just kowtowed, or he's a lot richer right now, because I think he might have gotten paid off. I mean, that's a very distinct possibility. That's my opinion, though.
Well, this gives, people the right to choose what ingredients they want in their foods. Obviously, if they see GMO ingredients, they have a right to decide, what they want in their food. I'm surprised that this was blocked. But tell me, who was behind the bill? How did this get started? What are the origins of this thing?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was all started by Connecticut Right to Know and all of our good friends, the Institute for Responsible Technology, Jeffrey Smith, is really behind all of this. And it's going to, in a number of states, they're trying to do this. They're trying to do it in California right now, labeling bills, a bill to label GMO foods. And we really thought in Connecticut, and I'm not a resident of Connecticut, but I did some interviews with some of the key players there, and it really looked like it was a no-brainer. It was going to happen until these shenanigans behind closed doors happened. And that was what the real spit in the face was it wasn't done, the way the American citizens expect it to be done, by vote, yay or nay. It was done all behind closed door, and they basically just took out the part that they really didn't want to see on the bill. And then they can act like, hey, we didn't do anything to the bill, but take out a little section. But it definitely took out the entire intention of the bill.
Yeah, that was the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. And I understand that they had plenty of signatures. They were feeling pretty good about themselves. They were feeling pretty good about their chances, and they had faith in the system, but then they got slammed by a rogue governor of Connecticut and the biotech industry. What's next? What's their next move? How are they going to try to combat this from here?
Well, they're going to try to reintroduce the bill, is my feeling. I'm waiting for the session to end before I can talk to some of the real key players within the politics end of it, the sponsors of the bill and what have you. They're trying not to cause a big stir until after the session is over. And I do believe fully that they're going to try to reintroduce this bill. And the one thing in particular that I feel is going to happen is there's a number of citizens out there that are really angry, and they might just have a new governor by the time that the bill is reintroduced, because that SOB needs to get out.
Well, let's hope so. And, I was checking out your article that you posted on INFOWARS.com recently about this. It says in the article that this illustrates once again that big agriculture has total control over local, state, and federal governments, and that the weak and morally twisted officials that reside over them. And I couldn't agree with you more.